Getting Over It. Written by Ellie Lynn. Narrated by P.J. Farhall.
Chapter 1. Romantic getaway, my ass! Abby Fulton pushed her chocolate-brown curls out of her face and swallowed the lump in her throat. She really wanted to be angry with Paul for being such a jerk, but he'd taken her completely by surprise. That in itself should have been enough to make her angry. Instead, she was sitting in the very back of an American Airline 777, with a heart as soggy as the rain-drenched tarmac outside her window. The bastard hadn't even had the decency to book her return flight. She just wanted to be alone. "Is this seat taken?" Abby looked over in time to see a tall blonde drop his well-dressed body into the seat beside her. Her eyes returned to the window. "It is now." "I apologize, but there aren't a lot of seats to choose from anymore." His low voice was a little awkward, but bore the distinctive hint of a European accent. It was either sit beside a beautiful lady or that heavy-set redneck up front. You'd probably get more conversation out of the redneck. "I'll take my chances." "Whatever." She sighed and continued to stare out the window. The jet's engines rumbled to life and the large plane slowly pulled away from the terminal. After less than 24 hours in France for a romantic getaway with her longtime lover, Abby was headed back to the States with no romance and no lover. "Men are scum," she muttered under her breath. "Seems to me I've heard that before," her seat companion commented. "My name is Will, in case you were wondering." "That's because it's true, and I wasn't." She turned her head slightly. "I'm Abby." "Well, Abby, I don't know about that. I'm not scum, and I'm a man. I'd never treat a lady the way you've obviously been treated." She turned deep brown eyes in his direction. "Oh, if you were unhappy with your relationship, would you tell her, or would you just fake it for months because you don't want to hurt her feelings?" "Well, he started. "Would you plan a wonderful weekend away in the most romantic city on earth just to take her to dinner at a fancy restaurant and tell her it was over? Would you tell her you've been screwing your new secretary for 6 months and then abandon her in the restaurant in a foreign country? Would you do that?" "Ouch!" He winced. "He did that?" "Yes, he did." "I'm so sorry. He really is scum." His blue eyes turned sympathetic. "But if it makes you feel any better, my last girlfriend broke up with me in the middle of a fancy costume ball. There I was, dressed in this ridiculous Roman gladiator costume that she picked out, only to have her tell me in the middle of a slow dance that she wanted to date my best friend." He raised an eyebrow and tried to stifle the smile that threatened to curl his lips upward. "Now tell me, where is the justice when your sexy counterpart is slow dancing with you, has a hand on your almost bare ass, in public I might add, and is telling you she isn't attracted to you any more?" "No justice," Abby said. "She's scum too." "We deserve a drink," he said, and pushed the button for the flight attendant. "We've been through relationship hell and lived to talk about it." 4 Manhattans and several hours into the flight helped to ease Abby's mood. Of course, the blonde, blue-eyed, sexy seatmate that kept her smiling didn't hurt either. Mom always said a little flirting was good for the soul. "You're feeling better?" he asked, and leaned close with a smile warm enough to melt the ice in her drink. "Starting to," she replied. "You know," he said, a faint light twinkled in the depths of his blue eyes, "my oldest sister is a gem. She says the best way to get over a man is to get under one." "Does that work?" "Want to try? It will be a tight squeeze, but that's half the fun." He inclined his head in the direction of the lavatory. "There's a first time for everything." Abby tilted her head and bit her full lower lip. She contemplated the logistics of doing the nasty in the tiny airplane bathroom. Under? How the hell could she get under him in there? "Okay," he read her thoughts. "Not necessarily under, but you get my meaning. Care to find out for yourself? Turbulence can be very erotic, you know." Her eyes shifted to the lavatory door. What the hell? What did she have to lose? She'd never see him again once they were home, so the shock to her ego would be well worth it. Besides, he was the finest thing she'd seen in quite some time. And the bathroom was the tiniest thing. It was almost too small for one person. Trying to fit 2 was a real experience.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?